currently in Kansas, there are only 3 abortion clinics, okay? They're very, very strict on their abortion policies there. And they are planning on shutting down the 3 that remain by making these impossible standards to keep them open, okay? Yeah. So as I mentioned, there are 3. And all 3 of them now have to follow these very, very specific and detailed rules. And I'm going to read those rules to you guys. So according to some of the new clinic requirements, an abortion facility in Kansas must be set to a temperature between 68 and 73 degrees at all times, have a janitor's closet of at least 50 square feet, and an operating room of 150 square feet, feature separate dressing rooms for staff and patients, and have 13 different types of drugs on hand. A patient is now required to stay in the recovery room, which must have a different temperature of 70 to 75 degrees for at least 2 hours after her procedure, even if the procedure requires no anesthesia. So one of the clinics has already failed these requirements, and it is already closed, shut down. Okay, there are 2 remaining, and
they've already failed. They're going to get shut down.
Exactly. So it's done. Okay, if you are a woman in Kansas and you want to have an abortion, even though the Constitution, even though a Supreme Court ruling gives you the right to have an abortion, you have to now travel out of state.
Right, because of these nonsense laws. The best part of well, first of all, the best part is the 50 square foot
janitor's closet.
Right, because if my Michael and I talked about this on WMB, but if my wife or daughter needed to have an abortion, I would want to make sure the doctor was competent. I would want to make sure that the janitorial supply closet was at least 50 square feet.
And fully stocked.
And fully stocked. And I would want to make sure that she were given the proper drugs to deal with her pain. Those would be priorities 1, 2, and 3. I mean, what are you talking about? And then the room, again, where you said 68 to 73 degrees. I didn't know about the 70 to 75 degrees for the recovery room.
For at least 2 hours after the procedure.
Right. The room will have to have 150 square feet, excluding fixed cabinets. Like they got that in there. So the cabinet space, that doesn't count.
This is unconstitutional. Okay?
Yes, it is.
This is against the law. And I don't know how they're getting away with this.
Well, when it gets challenged, I assume that it'll get overturned. And it would get overturned. Well, I mean, it would get overturned at the Supreme Court level unless the Supreme Court decided that this was the case they would use to take a look at whether they're going to overturn Roe versus Wade, which is debatable about the votes that they would have to do that. We think they don't. But
I don't know. I have very little faith in the Supreme Court. They've been making rulings that are super questionable. Citizens United being the #1 thing that comes to mind. So I don't know how they would rule in this case if it did reach the Supreme Court.
They'd stop it because it's just like poll taxes and literacy tests for black voters given the right to vote. It's exactly the same thing. The law has passed, and then you get around the law by setting up unreasonable burdens that make the law, that essentially make the law inapplicable. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, blacks can vote, that's great. Okay, there's a poll tax, you got to pay $3 to vote. You don't have $3? No, you can't vote. Or they take blacks who had been essentially brutally educated for years and years and years after they got the right to vote and made them read complicated parts of the Constitution, and then like, okay, you can't vote. The Supreme Court ultimately was like, yeah, no, you can't do this. And nothing has changed. There's still, we think, 5 votes that would keep Roe versus Wade on the Supreme Court if they were to get this case. But so even, other federal courts would say, look, this is unreasonable. You don't need a freaking janitorial closet. States have some right to restrict abortions, and parental notification laws have been upheld. There are certain things that states can do, but they can't do this. This is unreasonable. This is just entangling the process deliberately.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, what I love about this story is the Republican lawmakers that passed this legislation, when they're questioned about this, they're like, no. We're not trying to shut down the abortion clinics. We just want to make sure that these women who are getting this service, we just want to make sure that they're safe and they're in a clean environment. What, you don't want them to be in a clean environment? Is that what you're asking me?
State Senator Garrett Love says, I don't believe semi-clean to be okay. I don't believe it to be okay for poor women. I don't believe it to be okay for rich women. So he's just standing up for women.
That's the case. Doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is. He's looking out for you. He wants to make sure that janitor's closet is the right size, fully stocked, and you're in a, nice temperature when you're getting your abortion.
Kansas Department of Health and Environment spokesman Robert Moser, who's a physician himself, says implementing the new regulations has been consistent with the work that the KDHE is already doing to ensure Kansans have safe, reliable healthcare facilities in all facilities within the KDHE's purview. Yeah, except now they can't, safe, reliable, except now you can't have an abortion,
right,
which you're legally allowed to do. So it'd be interesting to see what happens next, but I can't imagine that this law stands. It's comical. Janitor's closet.
We are wearing awesome t-shirts today. It's not as obvious as it should be.
Yeah, this is...
It's a Matador, Matador. I wanted a shirt that looked cute and was comfortable, and this was it. But unfortunately, the logo isn't large enough. It's very silky and soft. Do you feel the softness?